All right, makers, this is round 2. This is about the membership contract. So as I mentioned, not any major changes were added, a couple minor ones and a couple clarification things. So again, take time as you sign up for the new membership to really look through, read through it. I know there's a lot of information there, but there's a lot of equipment and a lot of things that could go wrong here that we need your help to kind of cover. So it is a community workshop. We do have staff, but limited staff on who can do the maintenance, how we can clean up stuff and take care of stuff. So we'll also be implementing some guilds or some kind of subgroups that are focused around each cluster of equipment of members that can help address questions that are listed, known, and contact information is provided. So if you're interested in being part of one of those guilds, whether that's the lasers, textiles, wood shop, metal shop, electronics, or sign making, just look for that ability to sign up and be engaged in a different way. You know, help other members and try to learn and grow as we continue to expand what we do. So just as I scroll down through the membership rules and stuff, again, not any major changes. There are a few clarification and updates. There are notes about just treating each other with respect. We don't typically have that problem, but I know when people are doing big projects, they might get a little excited, a little rushed. And so sometimes that can come out with how they treat and interact with the staff and other members. So just please be respectful of everybody. The shop is here for you, and we want it to stay that way. So if anyone has a real bad attitude that doesn't quite jive with the community and the things that we're providing, we want to be helpful. We want to make sure the equipment is running, but with 30, 40, 50 pieces of equipment all potentially operational, we know there's going to be hiccups. So be patient with us. Make sure we treat everybody with respect, as well as accepting responsibility for damage. So if there's neglect, if there's issues, or if somebody's rushing through things, we historically have not really charged for replacements. And again, with something we've absorbed, we're gonna have to pass that back. So just be mindful of that, pay attention. That's why you stay with the equipment, that's why you watch it. And if you run incorrect materials through the equipment, then you may be charged for that damage. If you have questions about any of the materials, please reach out, ask before putting it in the machine. Also, some updates on the ages. So if there are children in the shop, not with a group or a club, we need to be really careful with how long they are here. Kids under 12 that aren't watched or are just hanging out, they can get a little restless. So try not to have kids camp out here. If you want to bring them in, show them what you're doing, share the space to a degree. Just again, check with staff, make sure that's okay. But we don't want kiddos hanging out here for long periods of times, over a couple hours while running. You can't focus on machines and kids at the same time. And there's lots of other members that are also trying to work at the same time too. So just be mindful of that, be respectful of that. Again, ask staff. We will have additional STEM activities and things in the works. And that might give them an opportunity to work in the classroom or work in the conference room, but out in the main work area can be a distraction for the equipment. Make sure you look, we've kind of updated a few storage areas and cleaning areas, so look for the proper places to put your material. Large sheet goods, things like that, do not cram them in the garbage cans. Make sure they either go home with you or cut down in a reasonable size and put in the correct places. We have adjusted the request of max advanced bookings to 4 hours a day. We've had a lot of times where members book up to a certain time or the 5 hours and then come in late or go early, and so they're not using the full 5. So in advance, 4 hours a day per equipment set. So if you're going to book lasers, only 4-hour chunks. If they are available before or after the day that you arrive in the shop, then you can ask the staff and book an additional hour or two as it's open, not until you arrive in the shop. So that's a decent change. Additional hours are the same. If you have a membership, additional hours will be $10 an hour as they were. If you do not have a membership, they will be $20 an hour. So if you really only need to come in for a specific project every once in a while, that's where it's just, we need to make that adjustment to covering the time and support that we need to do that. Additional notes, again, not really a change, but you need to make sure you're winding down your projects 10 to 15 minutes before time so that you have the time to clean up after yourself. We're having a lot of people work all the way up to the time, and it doesn't give allowed time to clean up. So you need to leave the equipment better than what you arrived to it with. If you have heavy concerns, make sure to mention it to the staff. We'll have a job board posted, so if you have concerns or issues, put it on the job board. Let us know, document it, put it up there so publicly so we can see it, and we'll address those as we go. But if you don't tell us there's something wrong, we don't know and can't fix it. So please take time, look at all that. If you have not touched a piece of equipment that you are trained on in over 6 months, the staff will not let you run that equipment. You'll either have to do another safety checkoff class or prove that you remember all the things that you haven't touched in the past 6 months. We've been pretty lenient on that in the past. We need to be much more careful with that going forward. People showing up, months, years potentially, and assuming that it's all still good. Insurance doesn't like that. We don't like that. The machines do not like that. So if you have not been in a long time, we can piggyback on an existing class, or we can set up a checkoff safety class. The classes are still the same price. They're very reasonable. Most are starting at $20. So to retake a class after a couple years after not touching the equipment is safe for everybody. So keep an eye on the class schedule. Request one at info@maker13.com if one doesn't fit the schedule, and we'll try to be flexible with that. So again, please be mindful, take a look at the membership terms, the participation rules, the equipment rules. We'll also be posting some of these around the shop, but just be again, mindful. It is a community space. There's a lot of people working in here, a lot of people coming and going. Let's be respectful of everybody's time. And again, we're glad to have you here. We want to continue to offer this as a safe, clean space with equipment running, staffed, ready to go. So look for opportunities to contribute and look for opportunities to enhance and grow. And we'll talk about some of the additions of what we've added in the shop and what we plan to add with some of the grants and things that we're working on for the nonprofit. Thanks for the time. Again, look for the membership agreement when you sign back up, but also it is always listed on the website, maker13.com/memberships. Scroll down and the membership agreement is there. So we look forward to seeing you. Thank you again for the patience, and we'll see you soon.